sexual activities?
Not most of times.
But it's a yes.
Yes.
How and where and when?
During the funkies, if I could call them.
Umesikia ni funky. Si functions.
Funky.
Okay. Guess us.
During the funky, okay, no, when you interact with other schools, the teachers usually also interact with other teachers.
Yes.
So it's where you us as a students buy time to interact, and during the interaction, people go to an extent of doing the sex.
Mm-hmm.
They can do it even in buses when the driver and the teachers are not around, or they can do it behind a building or somewhere in secret.
Mm-hmm. You are raising a pertinent question, and Sikilizaji, we are talking about this to create awareness so that one, you start seeing this young person the way they want to be seen. They want to be seen, to be given correct knowledge and awareness to take care of themselves more. They want to be seen that huyu si tu mwanafunzi, ni mwanafunzi ambao pia anakuwa, ni mwanafunzi ambao pia anabale, ni mwanafunzi ambao anafikiria very many different things. And I want to take it at this point kwamba the comprehensive sexuality education is very, very important because it encompasses many things, information about even emotional self, physical self, and even sexual self in terms of what are you thinking, what are the control, what are the correct decision you can be making. So imagine these young people at school, si watu wanafunzangwa mambo na sexual education. But I remember doing biology.
In bio, it's only little you know about that topic.
And we focus on anatomy and physiology kidogo, and then we talk about menstruation cycle, but there's no going deeper in terms of how you can deal with some feelings as a person. And then there's just kufunzo about HIV, STDs, STIs. Does it go deeper into causes? Does it go deeper into how to not get them?
I think it goes.
It goes.
If I can remember, it goes.
Mm-hmm.
With the diseases, it goes. With the HIV, STDs, and how it's gotten and how you can prevent it. It is there.
So yesterday, we've been talking to Ruth for some time. The reason why I brought, I told her, you must be with us at the studio. We've been talking, and she was like concerned, and she was saying, you see, the comprehensive sexuality knowledge is so important that when wanafunzi wakijoin shule form 1, it should actually be the first topic. Why would you say that?
Okay, it should be the first topic because I would highlight 3 reasons.
Yes.
First, if it should be the first topic there, then the teachers will have more time to clearly and come open with this topic to explain the students. But I can say it's not a 1 week thing. They should be taken through even from 4, even though if they'll be repeating it. Secondly, it will help the student to get the knowledge and get more and to understand that the topic is not all about sex, but other things, health things about themselves. And lastly, it will help them to know how to be courageous, to improve their self-esteem. Like during the holidays, if they're taught a little, hiyo knowledge yenye yako nayo ataenda kushare kwa pia mwenzake, na juu rafiki yake ameona kama nime learn from so and so, labda hiyo ni important, nafaa kujua. Lakini akisikia kutoka kwa mtu mwingine older ama mdogo kumliko, ataona ata ignore. So akishare your knowledge from to her pia huyo pia mwenzake ataenda kushare na pia mwenzake, so the knowledge will spread so easily. You now the young people interact so easily, na through the joking thing they share more, wanapeana more information hata kama ni unnecessary.
Unasema there is something that you've said that this education is not all about sex. What is the other thing? Just for a person who's listening na anasema sasa si mnasema tu sex, nasikia tu sex, ni nini nyingine yenye mnatuambia it's not only about sex? What is the other thing?
It's knowing how ni kujua health yako, health issues, learning how to control your emotions during different time and feelings, and also I could say knowing how to interact with people.
I think
if I can add and catch you, Uncle Google is saying comprehensive sexuality education curriculum is basing on the process of teaching and learning about cognitive, emotional, physical, and social aspects of sexuality.
Yeah.
It aims to equip children and young people with knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values that empower them to realize health, well-being, and dignity.
Yeah, if I just want to unpack that, and Maureen will advise me
Yes.
if I'm correct. So I think when somebody gets to hear this word, I think young people should understand that comprehensive sexuality education is just an education to talk about what affects you, especially regarding your sexuality. So it's important for you to know that as much as we are talking about getting pregnant, but how well are you taking care of yourself on your genital areas? As a young person growing and getting all these things in your body in your adolescent era where you are changing, your body is changing, you are getting, pubic hairs and all that. How healthy are you, and how do you need to take care of yourself as these things come up? Because I'll give an example of an education that I think back then it will be necessary. There's a time when I was in I was in class 8 where young us in our class, you'll see some girls, coming up with this story that, if you don't want your breast to grow so big, take a mwiko and, beat it. You see, beat your breast for it not to grow that big. Unapiga kifua.
You're very lucky you just had to piga. Mimi, when I grew up...
I didn't piga. Me, I was just like, how now? And the way my breasts are painful.
Sisi, ushago, nimekulia ushago, what do you think? We were told to take a leech. You know a leech?
No, I don't know.
Well, I know things. There's this thing kwa maji inaitwa leech. Ni ndefu alafu ni brown, ni blackish. Then it is rampant when it rains.
Oh, is it?
Unajua leech?
Inapenda kutembea kwa matope.
I
don't know.
Kwa maji.
Okay.
Then you are told to take that leech. Put it on the lip. So that thing actually inanyonya damu. I tried it once. Hey, the memory bado ina.
Yes, you see, those are kind of education that you're talking about when you talk about comprehensive sexuality education. It deals with things that are come out with your sexuality and how you change as a growing person. So you see, that time we feel kama tungepata hiyo education ya kusema kugonga na mwiko haisaidii. If you just have the genes of having bigger breasts, you'll have them.
Yes.
If you have the genes of having smaller breasts, you'll have them. So those are kind of education that we're talking about. How well are you taking care of yourself as you grow and as these things come out, as your breasts come out, as you change under your legs, I don't know which name we're supposed to call it, Maureen.
Safe names, and safe names, and we usually say in the Health Hub, call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Not a big spoon kwa sababu there is this mama, there's this story I like telling in this show. Mtoto wake msichana ni msumbufu kama mimi when I was about 8-9 na napenda kupanda sana, mwembe. Then my grandmother tells me, wacha kupanda huo mwembe, boys will see your pants. Wavulana takuona suruali. Of course I climbed down the next day. The next day I removed my suruali na yeka kando.
Oh my God.
When she comes like, yo, what have you done? I'm like, I thought suruali was the problem.
Yeah, true.
So call a spade, usipande hivi kwa sababu ya ina. When you talk about this topic of comprehensive sexuality education, one, Kenya is supporting comprehensive sexuality education at a point
Yeah.
The only problem ni pale kwa mashule where the teachers are conflicted.
Yeah.
Okay, wengine wanaona hii ni kufunza watoto tabia mbaya, lakini watu wenyewe pia wanajifunza wenyewe through their peers, as Ruth has well said. Unaelewa? And then we have another people category that we didn't talk about. Religious leaders. See what tunaenda ma church?
Yeah.
Do they ever talk about sexuality issues? Kwanza inakaa scene. Does your church talk about it?
Yeah, no.
Do you talk about this topic with your parents?
Wow.
They'll not watch this that you watched them. So sexuality is not about who you have sex with.
Yeah.
Sexuality is how about your sexual feelings as a person, your thoughts, attraction, behaviors towards other people. It's all about who you are as a girl, as a lady, as a female gender, as a person, as a male. Okay, what defines you in terms of sexual reproductive health and rights? Discovering yourself, being cognitive. Okay, so that when you have this comprehensive sexuality education, girls usually get like, am I pretty enough, or am I tall enough, am I brown enough, how do they look at me, am I thin enough, am I what enough? Sexuality education will answer those, will give you that confidence, sindio? Confidence to know how to decide on yourself. Do you know how many girls out here are told, are lured with money by some people that don't deserve? And then, what are they told? Mimi, ninakupenda. Unanipenda kweli? Because this person has never ever been in a point where they trust themselves and tell themselves, yes, I'm pretty, I matter. So mtu akimdanganya na pesa, akimwambia nakupenda, anaona huyo ndio anajua. But if we instill comprehensive sexuality education to young people, sitawapea confidence. So how again is important instilling comprehensive sexuality education among young people? If I can ask you, Ruth, itakuwa benefit gani kwa shule? Because again we have those issues of teenage pregnancies where girls they are put more to accountable. The boys ambao wamepeana mimba, they're usually not in the picture, sindio? So what do you think will help? Itasaidia vipi kama the young people within that age wamepewa this education individually? Kama hao wanafunzi itasaidia kufanya nini?
Ningesema itasaidia kujua more about your topic na kuweza, if possible, practice what is good, what is beneficial to them, like the courage part. Si lazima uambiwe na mtu kwa uko pretty ama uko handsome ili ndo you believe in yourself. Yes, and also to be able to work it out through your goals. With the knowledge, it will help you to go very far.
But do you think it will help anyhow in reducing the risks of HIV or STIs infection?
It will.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, because I agree with you, because the young people, as you said earlier, and I quote you, that young people also, if they are not aware, they practice through their peers. Mm-hmm. And if a young person knows such an information, then they are able to say, no, I'm not ready. And as you know that the age between, 17 going downwards, they cannot consent to sexual activities because they are in no consent age. But even the age of 18 to 24 now, who is a consenting age, is able to say no. And young person, whatever you are listening to, is okay to say no to any sexual advances when you're not ready to, because it should be you are ready to get into this activity, this relationship. Therefore, it's okay to say no. Anybody manipulating you and telling you must do this so that you can do this, you must do this so that I can know you really love me, dump the person. They don't have goodwill for you. Okay, so a young person, as you are 18 and above, you should not be pressured by any person to get into any unwanted relationship with them. And thank you so much, Mariam Kadzo. We see you. Thank you for giving a shout out. And Nonglanlan Queen Kube, thank you so much watching and listening all the way from Zimbabwe. This is amazing. And of course, as we continue, remember to share your comments. Remember to share your experiences. How was it for you, msikilizaji, at school? Were you at this point where you had these issues, and how did you deal with them? You know, relationship issues at school, and knowing very well that this is something that the young people at school can be guided through.
Yeah.
And Ruth has really clearly told us from the shoes of someone who has just treaded in. She has gone with us step by step to tell us the challenges young people face, to tell us that, yes, the young people in school, they know about sex, even if you're not talking about it. Ile topic here, we usually have this, what is this topic kwa class, ambayo mwalimu akianza biology teacher, unasikia tu watu wanaangalia chini wote. Do you ever have it?
I've never experienced that. Maybe, I don't know, to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Because I remember I went somewhere to I went to a community activity. Sawa? And I'm talking about a FGM. The boys were like this. Watu inamisha kichwa. We went somewhere again, and we were talking about menstruation, and we had a boy child demonstrating how to wear a pad. see her, she's like, what? And then the girls were like, so we still have a lot of stigmas, but I like what you're saying, that comprehensive sexuality education will be beneficial. So what are you telling parents with regards to, you know, sexuality talks na watoto wao?
The thing that I like to tell the parents is that they look for more time, even though, okay, najua wanakuanga kazi 24/7, but there is that 2 hours, there is that 1 hour, or one day they're usually free. Your time was spent with their kids to talk more about this topic, and not embarrassed to talk about the topic, but also spend time with them so that it will be able for the child to be open if one day the parent raises the topic.
Oh, amazing.
And also, I also do have a question because you talked about, I remember we talked about people who need to, to have this conversation is, first of all, parents, teachers, and the kids themselves, yeah? And as we talk about these issues, we cannot leave behind the impact of social media. Mm-hmm. And so social media being a big part of young people's life, do you think now that young people can take advantage of social media and get to educate themselves? Because it is true, parents are not doing what they're supposed to do, but we also need to give parents their grace and say that they did not grow up in a place where they were given that information, or they did not grow in a place where they could talk about this thing freely. So you only give what you have. And so as much as some parents are trying their best, some parents make it like have it so hard to have this conversation. And so we have social media whereby this information is easily, gotten. And there are some people who are willing to have this conversation. Like you see, like we have radio here talking about this conversation. We have different, people who are willing to have this conversation on social media. So how then can you advise young people when it comes to having this information on social media and them having the access to social media to to say, okay, my parents did not tell me this, but I know that I can have this information on social media? How do they go about that?
I'll give an example with myself. I'm an introvert. I love my phone so much. I spend 24/7 with it, even more than my family or even my friends. Okay, I'm not. It's good to get the information in social media, but ningesema ni you should hear it from the horse's mouth, meaning from your parents, because utaisikia kwa social media, but not everything in the social media. Maybe you are that kind of person listening to social media, then you find one thing that is not true. Like this thing, there's this person who is always for nani ana forget nani this death of young people. She foretells. That's not true. As for me, when that person gets that certain story, then we'll think. But some of the topics or of comprehensive that topic, some of it will not be true. So the best person and the best option is to hear it from your parents. You engage them slowly by slowly. Not a must you start from the complex ones, but you can start with simple things like definitions of the parts of the body, knowing more, getting even more topic like menstruation, explain it slowly by slowly, then going now into deep with the topic.
Have you been in that situation where your parents have come out to speak to you about that? And if they have not, what are the steps that you've taken maybe to lead your parents to do that?
Okay, sometimes they have, especially my mom, she talks to me topics like menstruations, like getting involved, having a boyfriend, not the sexual one, but a friend.
The friend, yeah.
Yes, and she told me that it's not bad, but the thing that you get into without the other gender is the bad one. But the others which I've not learned from her, I usually Google sometimes and know more. But as for me, I don't believe much about the phone, even though I love it and spend most of it time. Okay, my other source of getting about this topic is through the movies that I watch. The movies that I watch mostly highlights most of the subtopics of this topic, and I've quoted more information about this, some from parents and the movies. Yes.
Yeah, and I also just want to emphasize on that because and I also just like want to also just emphasize on the young people that there are so many people, if they take chance and have the time to to go on YouTube, there are doctors who are willing to give those kind of information. As you said, I agree with that some people on social media get to to lie to people and give fake information. But I believe that as young people who've stayed on social media and you are able to know who is fake and who is real. So the same way you have the ability to know the fake people and the real people, get to focus on the real ones, and just to also encourage, because I have seen so many young people coming and saying, my parents can't talk to me. My parents they don't have, like the example that you've given, they don't have the time to talk to their children. Maybe they're busy working, they want to give you a good life, and so 24/7 they're not at home. So just take the advantage that you have social media. Go to YouTube, look for these doctors who are giving professional information and trying to get information, so that at least you do not have the excuse and saying no one told me. Because as you grow, it gets to a point where it is you and you can't blame anyone. And I always believe, I myself have learned so much on YouTube. I don't believe in TikTok that much because there's so much jokes, but YouTube, there are so many people, doctors, professional who are giving some of this information for free, because they know that some people need it. And even people like Maureen here having this show and running the show is for the purpose of educating young people, because they know there is that gap, and that gap need to be filled, but whoever person is ready to fill that gap.
Yes, amazing. I hear you. And that got me into a situation that I feel like it needs even a show on its own. When you talk about online and you talk about young people accessing, you have the phone, you have the internet. Ruth, have you ever had or come into a situation with sexual predators online? These men, they have seen a young person there, they are inboxing you with a lot of offers. Is it something you've had? Is it something probably you've gone through?
Not that much, because me, when a new person wants to be my friend on social media, I usually first scrutinize them.
Yes.
I don't usually chat with you at first time. I just let you send your messages. I read them. If I'll see that they are beneficial, then I'll officially make you my friend.
Yes, I like what you're saying. You scrutinize. My goodness, you are, you are, I don't know, I like the word, but I want to say you're an amazing young person.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you scrutinize is something so good in online safety. Because I know young people that, Linda, I am jealous. Someone joined Facebook literally in January. Sahi ni March, akona 4,000 friends. Mimi nilijoin Facebook over 15 years ago. Sijafika hata 3,000 friends. So this aspect of accepting everyone, as long as you fill the gap, is when now peer they get many things. But of course, we'll be talking about peer online and how it affects peer mentally.
Yeah.
So that is not for today. But as we wrap up, I like what you put clearly. You put a call to parents. Know your child. Spend time with them. And let them know that talking and knowing about their sexual health matters. Tell them the truth. Come clear. And you've also sent a clear message to teachers, telling them to be open and clear to talk about sex and sexuality, which we call comprehensive sexuality education. Because we go to activities, kwa schools, walimu wakikuona, talk to them. They're having sex. I'm like, tone it down. We are talking about sexuality education. You've also put a very important call on how comprehensive sexuality education is going to help young people be aware of themselves and make correct and informed choices on their sexual reproductive health and rights and life, right? You talked about how this knowledge is going to boost their self-awareness and esteem and confidence, and even share the knowledge with their peers. How very, very strong. And I like that you talked about CSE knowledge is not going to increase the level at which young people are engaging, but it's going to help young people decide again and also align to the pressure, to the peer pressure that is beneficial to them. So parents spend more time. And what is your parting shot? Because we are ending in the next 6 seconds. What would you like to tell your young people in regards to their health?
I like to say that the topic's not bad, and it's a very interesting one, because it's all about you. I mean, nowadays, and how I love myself, I'd like to know more about myself and get the information more clearly, so that I can spread it to everyone.
Yeah, I love that. Linda, do you have a parting shot?
Yeah, I have a parting shot. It's by just, shouting out to these people who have said nice things to us. Susan Umazi, thank you, says nice topic, guys. Pamoja hadi tamati. And then you have Liz Mapenzi saying mada nzuri kabisa. And then you have Iris Natasha saying, but these days, people on social media clout chase like everywhere, even in the most crucial and important issue. Tumekupata kabisa, and we agree with that 100%. So thank you for for tuning, and I feel like this topic is mostly needed
Yes,
by
it
young
is.
people, and it cannot be emphasized enough. And that's why we have our able Maureen here trying to bring out this topic and making sure that young people get to learn, because there is the gap that is needed. So continue giving us questions that you want us to tackle in the next shows.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you have a question if you have a topic close to your heart and you like to be addressed here at the Health Hub, please don't hesitate to give it up in the Dio Radio, or you can inbox me at Maureen Magak and you'll get it right there. If you want to be a guest at this show, please come right up and contact me so that we can host you. And before we end, can you do that wicked laugh again? This is how we are ending. Asante sana for tuning in.
Thank you. Asanteni
Until next
sana.
time.
Until next time.